All right, so this will be the Bitcoin update for February 14th, 2020. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Let's go ahead and get started here with Bitcoin. Talked last night about this little area right here. That was a symmetry move from this retracement right here to see if this one would equal it. And lo and behold, that's kind of where it held right there. Pretty close to 10,000, maybe just a hair above. But still holding the 10 EMA right here in blue. So I mentioned on Twitter, don't try to overthink this. As long as that 10 EMA holds, or even maybe just a slight wick below it, doesn't mean it's the end of the world. Okay, so just watch this area right here. Still expecting that we might get a move up here to possibly 10,900, maybe 10,950, somewhere in that 11,000 area, and then maybe even test, if it really gets going, this downtrend line, right, which has been holding it since the top right here. And that's kind of where I was expecting, somewhere in this area before we finally get a hard retracement off that. So that's Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and move over to Ethereum. And right now, I mean, just a parabolic rise going up into this 290 area, 292, and obviously if it breaks that, then you come up to the next FIP retracement around 308. But if not, watch for it's just riding this upper Bollinger Band too. I mean, just a thing of beauty, and just hugging that 10 EMA. So you might get a little retrace back when this 10 EMA gets up here. But again, and let me take this fib out. I don't want that to confuse anybody. But anyway, yeah. So we're not trying to overthink things here. But if you've got a good entry, then just trail your stop loss up with the 10 EMA. So that's Ethereum. Let's go to Litecoin. Pretty much the same as the other ones. There's really nothing I can see that's keeping it, no fib number or anything that I'm seeing that's keeping it from going up here to around 90. So keep an eye on this one. Watch it. Still expecting that a move up here, and that may be the end of at least the short-term move, right? And then a retracement off that, and then maybe go up and break higher highs. But still a good-looking chart. Just holding the 10 EMA, right? Like a broken record. Let's go over to XRP. This one looks really good, guys. I mean, and it took it a long time to do it, but this is similar to the Litecoin chart I posted a long time ago. It had the same situation, right? This was red. It was a support or a resistance zone. Finally broke above it, and then came back, retested, and off to the races we go. So it's a constant theme right now. Just watch these areas of resistance, see if they turn into support, and then there you go. Right now, it looks like it's breaking the, it wicked above the 50 barely. I'm going to keep that up there just for now. There is some resistance over in this area, so we'll watch that. If it breaks that, then obviously I'm looking, probably shorter term. You might get a little bit of resistance here around 37, but eventually I think this thing is probably on its way to 44 cents. So anyway, that's XRP. Let's go to Link. And right now, Link is, basically made the high, hit a, fib retracement, 261.8 and a 461.8, kind of a clustering here. So that's where the pause is. You've also got it above the upper Bollinger Band. Nice move today, though, and look where it bounced off of. Surprise, 10 EMA, held it. So, right now, I don't know that you have to buy it right here. You could actually wait until it just kind of slows, maybe it pulls back in a little bit. 10 EMA comes up and it tags it again, and then it breaks through all this and eventually goes higher. So this is going to be a big area of resistance right here. So watch that. XTZ, another one that's been on fire. Can't make a higher high, though. It's kind of struggling with this area right here around 360. There is a 268.1 retrace, or 261.8 retracement right up here at 370, so it's stopping just shy of that. Next major resistance is going to be right up here around $4, a little over 4. So watch that. Again, kind of concerning that the stochastic RSI is coming down, price is going higher. So we've got some divergence going on here. Just be real careful with this one, guys. Make sure you have stop losses, or depending on the exchange you're on. But anyway, watch this one. Maybe a move back to the 10 EMA. We'll see. Maybe back into the 330 range, and then another move higher. ZRX. What can you say? I mean, this one was a big winner for us in the channel. It went past all 3 of my targets, so I'm sure everybody by now should have plenty of profit made. And right now, it's just kind of, this little area right over here is kind of holding it back. Did wick above, so I think this is just going to see some small correction. Eventually move up to 40 cents. Okay? That's kind of what I'm seeing. Maybe up to 40 cents. Unless this is just a head fake right here on a breakout and then it drags down. So again, watch your 10 and 20 EMAs. There's your 10. This thing's been the driver of it. That's ZRX. Let's go to ADA. And again, not trying to sound like a broken record, but this area right over here was resistance, and it broke above, came back and retested, and there you go. So 261.8 retracement right now is resistance. If it breaks this, you're eventually going to pop over 700, and maybe even eventually a measured move up here. Obviously if that move equals this move, then you get up here to close to 800 sats. So this one still looks to have a whole lot of life in it. Let's go on to VET. I've been mentioning this one. Told everybody to keep an eye on it. I actually had a call in the channel, and I had a really conservative stop loss, and I'm sure everybody got stopped out on it, but I should have been more liberal with it and lower. But anyway, inverted head and shoulders, tested the neckline, broke above, measured move on VET. If you're playing it, is 94 sats. So this is one to watch in the coming days. Might do some, pullbacks and whatnot, but the trend is up. So VET expecting 94 sats on that one. Let's go over to another one I mentioned. Love it or hate it. I mean, and it's a crap coin, right? But if you go back and look at Dogecoin, this thing can make some wild spikes, right? It really can. The thing here is that it's above the 200, the 233, and lo and behold, here was an area right here of old resistance, right? For about a month or two, it could not get above 30 sats, or 29 basically. It did, finally popped here, came back and retested, and now let's see if maybe that's going to lead to something a little higher, right? If you're playing it, obviously you want to make a new high over here around 35 sats. From there, it leads up to 40, and eventually maybe even up to 44. So this one's always if you're risky and you like to just throw a little bit of money at something, might be worth it, in my opinion. Let's go look at DGB, and here we go. So DGB is testing the upper part of this falling wedge. Okay, approaching this resistance zone. We've seen this before, right? So DGB, if it can get above that, hold, retest, and then eventually it could go higher. Big resistance zone right in here, obviously. If it can get above that, probably a pop to 91, and then a drop back down to retest this zone, and then maybe go a little higher. So keep an eye on DGB. Last one of the night, RVN. I mentioned this one in the channel as well. All you have to do is go back and look at the recent history of this. It makes these pops, right? And I mentioned it in the channel. You get this little drop. It's like a pump and then a dump. And then it bases for a little while, and then you get another pump. So, this one here, I'm not sure if it's the end of it or not. but I would fully suspect that, we'll see. That was a 78.6 at 414. If it can break that, then maybe it could come up and retest this resistance line right here. If it's a little bit short of that, then you're looking at 429. So anyway, that's pretty much what I've got for tonight, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the subscribe button if you like what's going on. Also hit the like button and the little bell so you can get my videos. Y'all have a great Valentine's Day. Y'all take care.